Hey, what's up? It's Jared with State of Tech, and this is the time of year when people like me spend way too much money on smartphones because all of the flagships come out. Of course, there's a few that come out in springtime, but end of summer, fall ends up being pretty expensive. Hence, my iPhone XS Max, the Note 9, and now the Pixel 3 XL, which I am excited to have just received today. In the mail. I pre-ordered it and it came via FedEx today. Also got the Pixel 3 XL case. I was a real fan of the case that Google released last year for the Pixel 2, and so I wanted to go ahead and get myself another one. So we've got the Pixel 3 XL here. We're going to unbox it, kind of get it fired up, switch over the SIM. I thought I'd bring all of you along for the ride there because I don't really do many like unboxing type videos anymore, and so I never end up talking about a device until it's time to do a review. And so I wanted to kind of change that just for once, because the Pixel 3, you know, I have high hopes for it, and I've heard early thoughts that other people have had. And those early thoughts are all positive. Of course, you know, there are a lot of people remaining kind of skeptical because the specs are not what you would expect out of a flagship phone in 2018. Of course, the Pixel 3 has 4 gigabytes of RAM, whereas the Note 9 has 8 in the configuration that I got anyways. And a lot of the other devices are coming with at least 6. And so that's something to consider, but I'm not really too worried about it because the Pixel 2 didn't have a large amount of RAM considering the other devices that were out as well. So inside, of course, we also get our Pixel Buds, our wired Pixel Buds. These are really nice. The only thing is that for my ears, I haven't really liked the way that they fit and feel. I love the sound. They're good quality last year. I'd be interested to test these at least and give them a try. But for me, they don't stay in my ears very well, that whole kind of adjustable loop thing. And then inside the box, of course, we've got our USB Type-C adapter. We have our headphone jack that we can attach, the dongle for that. And then we also have a data transfer tool that allows us to, of course, switch between devices and whatnot. So awesome. The box, the packaging is nice. I like that. Very well optimized space. And of course, Google packaging is really nice. So I'm going to be pulling the SIM out of this Note 9 because that is a line that I have that's available to test, and I've been waiting. I haven't really been using the Note 9 a whole lot this last couple of weeks as I've been really kind of focusing on my iPhone XS Plus and spending more time with that device. So kind of a cool SIM tray placement at the bottom of the device. Typically we would see them towards the top or on the side of the device. That's an interesting tray. It's actually not completely through. There's a plate on the bottom of it to kind of hold your SIM from sliding around. That's kind of different. A lot of times you have to try and get it in there just right. That snapped in there nicely. I feel pretty secure about that. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in, and then we are going to power up the phone. And you know, the whole notch thing, I'm just going to mention it once, and I may mention it once when I do my official review, but I don't care. The notch is not that big of a deal. In my opinion, I want as much screen real estate as possible, and I know that that comes down to apps being optimized. Wow, just the startup screen. I wish that I could take you back and show you that just really cool animation that popped up there. If I could find a video, I'll throw it up. That was just really nice. So the display just looks really nice so far. I'm going to go ahead and get logged into my Wi-Fi so that we can connect and start to get this thing going. Surprisingly light, this device, in comparison to the other devices that I've been carrying, the iPhone XS Plus and the Note 9. Those are pretty beefy devices. I mean, they're good-sized devices. They're definitely light by considering what they're doing and what they are. but the Pixel 3 definitely feels a little lighter in the hand than the others. I'm excited to get a fingerprint scanner back on the back of the device. Of course, the Note 9 has that. But it's still a challenge to feel for the Note 9 fingerprint scanner without having a case that kind of guides your finger there. I like the circle. I like it being separate from the camera. Keeps my fingers from getting on the camera and getting the fingerprints all over it. So what I'm really excited about is, of course, this camera. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to copy from another device, but I am going to log into my Google device or into my Google account so that I can, of course, copy over apps and settings that were backed up to Google. Since I haven't really been using my Note 9 as my primary for a couple of weeks, a lot of my data is more consistent on my iPhone. But one of the things I've been trying to do is not be so tied up with my data that's on the devices, like past text messages and stuff like that. Oh, I can unlock it from my Note 9. I love that. Two-factor authentication, being able to unlock that without having to go in and find that 6-digit number. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on agree, all the stuff, and let it go and get my account information and start to get that set up. We've got to go ahead and accept all the things, legal terms, and all that good stuff. Unlock with a Pixel imprint, but we have to create a 4-digit password first, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then touch the sensor, lift, then touch again. Do that a couple of times just to get that fingerprint in there. Fingerprint added. I'll add my left hand later. Continue setup. Gosh, this is snappy, guys. I mean, the process of going through setting up a lot of these other devices typically is just not that snappy. I don't know if it's pushing me through and continuing to do stuff in the background or what, but that process is just great. I love the squeeze for the assistant. It's kind of giving me the ability to change whether I want a really light squeeze or a firm squeeze. This is good because if you put a thicker case on your phone, your squeeze isn't going to be as effective, so you're going to have to slide and adjust. So I may go back and adjust that when I get the case on. I'll hit no thanks for anything else. It says just a sec, one last tip, get updates. Sure, go ahead and send me the updates. And it's on, it's ready to go. It said last finishing touches, boom, it took me right to that screen. I'm sure it is still doing stuff in the background, but that was fast. That was a fast setup. And I wasn't expecting that to go so fast. Definitely the Note 9, we would have been here for at least another 5 to 10 minutes. And the iPhone, that's a pretty fast setup, but the connection between things definitely takes a little while. And of course, in the background now, it's finishing apps and data restore, so that's something that just happens in the background. I didn't have to sit and wait for that process. Google let me right into the phone, and I'm now able to use the phone. Whereas if I was doing an iCloud restore from an iCloud backup to my iPhone, I'd be sitting there for a while waiting to even get access to the phone. So Google has really streamlined that process of getting you right in to your phone and being ready to use it. So now I could be making calls, even all of my contacts are already in here, already synced over. Of course, my call history isn't yet, and probably text messages and stuff like that aren't yet either, but my phone is ready to go. And I'll tell you what, I am really excited to start using this phone. So I'm just launching the camera. This isn't necessarily a good setting for me to test the camera in here, but I like to turn on a phone and just look through the camera. I don't know why. I guess it's just there's some things I like to kind of test. There's a little bit of rolling shutter there, which is very typical of a smartphone camera. But I am super excited to see the performance of this camera because, the iPhone XS that definitely takes some good photos. There's some fantastic photos. Oh man, I'm zooming in. That's actually pretty darn good. Zooming in to as far as I can get in on the image. That's pretty good. So I'm going to be testing these. I've got the Pixel 3 XL now. I've got the iPhone XS Max, and I also have the Note 9. Those are the 3 phones I'm going to be testing. And so that we have some sort of a control, I have the Sony a7 III, which is a full frame mirrorless camera, and I'm going to use that in a photo comparison, and we're going to look at image detail, low light performance, all of that stuff in a camera shootout video. So you're going to want to make sure to subscribe to the channel here on State of Tech, because we're going to be having that video go live hopefully in the next couple of days, because you know, there's all these phones that are out, and for those of you who have been kind of waiting, you're trying to make a decision, you know, do you maybe you're considering jumping ship from an iPhone, or maybe even giving iPhone another chance, or you're trying to decide whether you want to go with that that Note, that Galaxy device, maybe even the S9 from earlier this year, but I don't have my S9 anymore, or this Pixel 3 XL. The Pixel 3 XL definitely has the other devices beat in price. I mean, I was really surprised at the price that they came at with this. Of course, you know, with 128 gigabytes of storage, that's going to be plenty, because we're going to get that free storage of unlimited quality. Now, I take advantage of Google Photos on all of my devices, but I have to use my Google storage if I want that unlimited, uncompressed image saved, like the image straight out of the camera. If I'm going to use free Google Photos on my iPhone, my Note 9, or any other device for that matter, it's gonna compress my images and my video, and it's gonna degrade the quality a little bit, not by much. But with that Pixel, you get that unlimited free. You could shoot 4K video all day long. You could shoot photos till your phone is dead, and they're going to store all those for free. And so with that, 128 gigs of storage is actually going to get you a long way. So they saved us some money, I think, by not going in the direction of here's all the gigabytes, here's all the specs. Of course, it's optimized. Android, they're able to optimize it for this device and make it work perfect, whereas the other manufacturers are responsible to make their devices optimized for Android, which I'm sure they do. But who's going to be better than that than Google, the people who put the software together in the first place? And that really did show with the Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL last year. So I'm excited to get out and test this. Like I said, subscribe to the channel here. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked the commentary. I think that's tends to be the thing that I bring to the table on YouTube, is having commentary and thought about the use of these devices. I like to go out and use them. A lot of people, they'll review a device a couple of days after having owned it, and then that's it. You don't hear anything else from them. I like to come back 6 months later, a year later, talk about the device, compare it to other devices, and see what we can do to just make sure that we're buying the best device for our money and not overspending and not, you know, I mean, there's a lot of options out there these days. So thanks so much for checking out the video. I can't wait to showcase the camera functionality for all of you and then come back for a review. So make sure to follow at State of Tech on Instagram, Twitter. I'll be posting photos that I've taken with this device. Some of the other devices, I already have photos posted. I'll be posting more to Instagram stories, so follow at State of Tech. And you can also follow me at Jared Hill. I definitely share a lot about my life on that social media channel, but I use my smartphone cameras, and it gives you a great picture into how these are performing. So definitely check those out, and I look forward to connecting with you there. So that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for checking out State of Tech, and I hope to see you back in the next one.